What's up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we have this RAV4 here, and I need y'all's help. What's going on with this RAV4? Well, the first time it came in, it had a leaky gas tank. So raccoons or rats or whatever it is that's up in there punctured the gas tank. And we ultimately ended up fixing the gas tank, but now it's back. And the rodent's still in there, and I'm unable to get it out. I have no idea on how to trap it. Maybe you guys might have some ideas on how to get it out, but the customer don't want to involve their insurance company. So we're limited as to how much we can strip this vehicle down. But the rat, no matter what we do, it just finds a different spot to run into. So far we have taken out the wheel housing liner, as you can see on the floor. Wheel housing liner is all apart. We removed the front bumper, but you can see the home that it was building inside of this customer's car. This little insulator right underneath the bumper, he has like little tunnels that he created for himself to run through. And he's still in there, he or she. And all it's doing right now is just chewing up more harnesses and wires and peeing on components. And the customer don't want to get their insurance company involved, so we're trying to do as much as we can for little as possible. So we clearly don't want to strip down the whole vehicle completely because the customer doesn't have money for that. We took the rear bumper out too, and the rear housing liner as well. No success. He's still in there somewhere. So if you guys have any ideas on how to trap rats, because I have no idea how to get it out. So even if we were to strip the vehicle down completely, we would still be stuck because he could find little holes in the body that we obviously won't be able to get access to. So we got the whole rear bumper removed just to try to see if we could maybe force him out. And we had this RAV4 sitting outside for a while, hoping he just runs and leave, but he's not. Every once in a while we come and we tap around the car and we could hear him running around inside. As you can see, there's only so far we can get in there without dismantling the whole car. And I don't want to set traps or, poisons for the rat. I don't want the animal activists coming after me again. Last time we had a situation like this, we tried removing the possums and I got myself in a lot of trouble because the animal activists didn't want us to mistreat them. So if you guys have any idea how to get this or how to capture the rats that's inside of this vehicle, please feel free to drop them down in the comments because I have no idea what to do. So let me show you ultimately what they're doing inside of this hood. So after we repaired the gas tank and the whole fuel situation, now the fuel is not leaking anymore, the customer came back with a hybrid system warning light on and look underneath the hood. So ultimately what this rat is doing is just running around in here, just urinating over everything. And with these hybrid system components, what you guys need to realize is, for safety reason, the hybrid system will disable itself if it senses any high voltage electrical, voltage is leaking through the car. So obviously you don't want the passengers or the driver to be electrocuted by high voltage. So the system is smart enough to detect, like for example, if this wire right here coming from the inverter, if it were to have like a, exposed insulation and it starts leaking voltage into these wires or computer into the body of the car, to prevent the drivers and the passengers from getting electrocuted, the hybrid system ECU will disable it. While we were in hybrid school, they taught us all about it and how it does that, but ultimately that's what the customer came back for. Hybrid system warning malfunction, all kind of lights in the dash are on. But you can see how the rats are just urinating on top of this inverter. You could see some, residue of urine on this high voltage cable going to the inverter. And look at the engine cover. The rat is still in there. Every once in a while, we can come hit on top of the cowl panel and we could hear him running, but right now he decides to hide himself in a little corner and he doesn't want to come out. So we don't want to repair anything in this vehicle without first getting the rat out. And like I said before, the customer don't want to get their insurance company involved. So we try to do the best we can right now to try to get the rats out. So if you guys have any idea, drop it down in the comments. I mean, I'm not a pest control guy, so this is out of the realm of my expertise, I would say, and I have no idea how to trap. And rats are so patient, guys. They will, once they hear you coming, they will wedge themselves in a spot and they will not move. And that's been the case with this car right here. So as you can see, we took out everything. Wheel housing liner, front bumper, all in an effort to try to make sure he has nowhere to hide. It's inevitable. I mean, they just can fit into anywhere. And let's take a look underneath. Even some of the lower shield, as you can see, we removed. Like I said, we're just trying to eliminate all the hiding spots that he could possibly run into and hide. But no matter what we do, after we come back and we try to surprise them, we hear them running around in there still. So if you guys, like I said, have any tips or any suggestions, drop it down in the comments on how to capture or get rid of rats. I know the animal activists don't want to hear that, but I'm sure this customer don't want the rats living in their RAV4 either. So obviously this is going to cost the customer a lot, because look how much we have to do. And we haven't even got to what's damaged yet. So the high voltage ECU is still setting off DTCs and hybrid malfunction light because it senses, urine and shortage happening inside the high voltage system. So we got a hybrid system component right here on top of the inverter. You could see, say, all the droppings and stuff, the urine. And down in there too, my light's not gonna be able to get it, but there's a nest further down in there. That's the last thing this customer wanna see. Look at the electric water pump. All that brown stuff is just dried up urine. Like they're just urinating all over this place. It's actually one of the guys on my team working on this. And we had it for quite some time now. We just have no idea what to do. So this is a situation you guys don't want to find yourself in, because stuff like this can get costly real quick. And it's no fault, to the owner. They didn't do anything wrong. They did everything right. They didn't neglect their car. They just parked it somewhere and the rats decided to build a nest. Let's take a look at the driver's wheel housing liner. This was his favorite spot. He loved running inside of here. Go see some of the nests he was carrying and building for himself. And even getting this close to the RAV4, you can smell the urine, guys. There's multiple in there. I believe at least 3. And there was a huge one running inside of this cowl panel. But we just been letting the vehicle sit outside until we could make sure they're out for sure before we leave it in the shop, so they don't run into other customers' vehicle. But I'm no pest control expert. If you guys are, feel free to drop in the comments on how I can best trap them and capture them and remove them from this customer's vehicle. Like I said, they can wedge themselves into tiny spots, so it would make no sense to the customer or the insurance company of stripping this thing down to just metal. And even then, we can't guarantee that we're gonna get the rat out. But that's all I got for you guys today. It's not much of an informative video, more like trying to get info from you guys on how to best deal with this situation. Any suggestions you guys have, feel free to comment down below. As always, I want to thank you guys for supporting the channel. Until next time, thanks.